Hey everyone, welcome to yet another video series. This time I'm going to be talking about industrial robots. A little background, I always wanted to, I shouldn't say always, I've been interested in robots for a very, very long time, and basically since I was a little kid, and I didn't really know what that meant other than I thought they were super cool. But at some point in college, I was like, these robots are pretty sweet. I think I'm going to dig in a little deeper and play with them. And then I got with a professor that had come from an industrial robot manufacturer and received a robot. So I started playing with that just a little bit and I was intrigued. So that's what actually got me into the industrial automation career. Basically, started my career in as an industrial programmer, industrial robots, PLCs, all that stuff. So essentially, it took me about maybe 3-4 years at work before I actually got my hands on some real industrial robots. And to be honest, unfortunately, they're not. The new wears off of them pretty quick. Like they become work real fast when it's your real job, but they're really super cool. So one of the things I noticed, kind of like my other video series out there, I did one on PLCs. If you haven't seen that one, you should check it out. If you're if you're watching these videos, it'd probably be useful to you. But essentially, I found that there's in this industrial world, nobody really has motivation to make videos about how to do this stuff. And so some of the companies will have training videos, but really they want to send you to training and they want to fly you out for a week and charge you a couple $1,000, or maybe you buy a robot and you get training for free or something. But either way, you've got to kind of be in that scenario to know if how to, or to figure out how to learn this stuff. And so my goal here is to teach you sort of how to learn how to program an industrial robot. So this is will be made for beginners primarily. So if you've already programmed a few robots, maybe skip ahead, fill in some stuff. I don't know exactly where you're coming from. So I'm just going to go through some of the different aspects of frames and motion types and things like that. And hopefully by the end of the series, you'll be more or less up to speed on kind of how to program an industrial robot. I'm not going to get too manufacturer specific. However, I will be using ABB's Robot Studio because it offers a free, they have a 30-day trial of a simulation environment that will let you play around and see if it's something that you want to get into. So when I talk about industrial robots, I'm going to do a little background real fast so you can skip ahead if you already know about industrial robots. But essentially, the industrial robot is, they vary in size massively. I mean, they can be, 10 feet tall and hold, 200 kilograms or more. They can hold a whole car. You can have two arms like this guy or one big one. They can do welding. They can fixture parts, move parts down the line, assemble things, just all sorts of stuff in industry. Now, this isn't the, Roomba style home robot or anything like that. And they're doing machining, welding, real things out in industry, manufacturing. And so because of that, there's not a whole lot of resources out there for learning them other than just going straight to a manufacturer. So basically, the ones I've dealt with in the past, I've dealt with Epson, I've dealt with Fanuc, I've dealt with Kuka, and just recently I've dealt with ABB. So that's what's the freshest for me, and so that's the environment I'm going to be showing you. Another benefit if you're watching this video series, if you are programming an ABB robot, I found the simulation environment to be very powerful, but also very cumbersome and difficult, a higher than it should have been learning curve. So um, I'll be attempting to explain out some of those things. So I'll try not to spend too much time on that just because, you know, if you're programming a Fanuc or something right now with this video series, which you're perfectly capable of doing, hopefully, after the end of it, if you're doing something like that, then me spending a ton of time on the development environment for ABB is not necessarily going to be worthwhile for you. So I'll try to go be brief on that stuff. And lastly, I want to say that teach pendant. So a lot of these programs, you input them on a teach pendant that looks something like this. And here's Fanic, I believe, is an older Fanic. This is the current generation Fanic, as I know it at least, as of, this is about to be 2016 here. There's a Komau robot, which I've yet to play with. And then, so they have varying degrees of them. There's a Kuka one, which is nice. It's got a 3D mouse on the side here. And, they have various joysticks and stuff, but a lot of what I'm getting at is the programming. A lot of people will do the programming right on the pendant. You see this guy here poking at it, adding code to the pendant. So that is one way of doing it, but I kind of think of myself as a newer age sort of programmer, and something like this, dealing with this, unless it's your job to work with those all day, every day, they're just cumbersome. And it's not the fault of the robot manufacturers, or I don't know, maybe it is, but they're useful, and you can get right to the button, and you can use this thing like it's a keyboard once you've been using it for a year. But to write programs and to teach points, I mean, just sitting in there in the cell, and you got to deal with the safety system and move this robot around. I'd much rather do all this offline if the CAD is available. So that's the place I'm going to take it, is we're going to have a virtual programming environment. I'm not going to be able to send it to a real robot for this video series. I just don't have access to one at the moment. But I will show you in simulation. We'll run the real thing. So anyway, let's get to it. That's enough intro. If you stuck around this long anyway, check out, the links will always be at the bottom of the video to the next one. I'll playlist them, so you can just hit next. So otherwise, like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you enjoy these videos, and give me feedback. I've upgraded my system a little bit. Hopefully the audio will be good. 720p is awful, but you'll need it to read everything on the screen. So anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.